Tonight we're going to talk about menopause real quick. I just want to talk to the ladies really quickly because I talked about in this season of our life, right? We are this crowd over here. We are Generation X and we are grown. And we are, I'm saying, between the ages of 45 and beyond. And our bodies are going through things, right? But we've been with our spouses or we are newly meeting people to get in our second marriage. And we're checking out sexually because we're talking, and this is for the ladies. And I talked about this yesterday and I said, you can't make up the excuse that you're going through menopause to neglect your husband. And I got an inbox from a woman that said, you know, women, everybody's body is different and blah, blah this and blah, blah that. I totally get that, right? I never said that nobody wasn't going through menopause. I said you cannot shut down on your spouse when you're going through menopause. You have to go get the help that you need because your spouse is not unalived. Okay, your spouse has needs that need to be met. And if those needs are not met, and if you make the excuse of menopause, I get it. You cannot use that as an excuse. And menopause can be severe, and I know, but you can't check out on your husband. Men need to hear about menopause so they're not feeling like a woman is intentionally neglecting them. But I'm just here to teach the women that you cannot use menopause as an excuse to not satisfy your husband if you want your husband to remain monogamous. Now, if you don't care if he go out and get it from somewhere else, then I'm not talking to you. But the majority of the women who are in marriages, they want their husband to be monogamous. And when we get to a certain age and perimenopause and menopause kicks and you get hot flashes or whatever your symptoms are, we tend to just really throw that out there. And then it becomes a habit of saying, I'm going through menopause, like leave me alone. It just becomes a habit. You're not even having a bad day. You have just got so used to saying this. You got to shift your mindset or your man go get it from somewhere else. I tell y'all this all the time. Cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. Okay? Cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. And there are men of a certain age, of our age group, Generation X and beyond. So we got the Generation X and we got the baby boomers who are going to younger women who are stepping out in their marriages because we have decided to adopt the excuse of menopause to shut them off to think that they are going to go for the rest of their life without intimacy is bananas. You can't do it. You gotta get to your doctor. You gotta get to holistic people, who have holistic options. There's ways to work around it if you want to. But a lot of us done got lazy in menopause. A lot of us have decided that nobody can't tell me I'm hot and I'm this and I'm that. No, I'm telling you, if you want your marriage to a lot of marriages are ending and people are wondering why. Listen to me. A lot of marriages are ending after people been married for 24, 25 years. So you figure they got married at 25 and 25 years has passed. So they're 50. Or got married at 25 and 30 years have passed. So they're 55. And people are like, after all this time, ain't nothing out here for you. Why would you get a divorce? Because ain't no action going on at home. And ain't nobody going to stay there for the rest of their life. Because a woman is saying, I'm going through menopause. No, ma'am, you can't do that. And I'm not. And again, before the women start sending me DMs again, I'm not saying you're not going through menopause. I'm not saying you're not having symptoms. I'm not saying that it is an issue. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you have to deal with the issue and you have to tap back in. You have to change your mindset and you have to do things and find ways to please your man through menopause. You are not having a hot flash every hour of the day. So you can do a menopause journal. Listen to me. If you want your husband to stick around or your significant other to stick around, listen to me. You can do a menopause journal and you can see when your symptoms are at their worst, right? So if you having hot flashes at night and you don't want to be touched because it's hot and every time you lay down, then you need to please your man in the morning. If you cooled off at 6 a.m., then you need to wake up, roll over, and please your man at 6 a.m. You need to get yourself, if you good at 6 p.m., You need to start looking at your body and knowing what is causing the problem, what is causing the hot flashes, right? What is causing the different things that are going on in your body? Because a lot of times as women, and I'm speaking for myself, chocolate makes me have hot flashes. And I cannot eat chocolate. I shouldn't eat it, period. But I tell you, if I eat a piece of chocolate at 6 p.m., when I go to bed, my bed is going to be soaking wet because I am going to sweat the bed out and I know this, but I'm single, so I could do that sometimes. But if I'm laying next to my husband or my significant other, you should be laying next to your husband. For the church people that's going to come in and say, Trey, you said you love the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You talking about somebody's significant other. People going to do what they want to do. You got to listen. You got to answer to God. I'm saying you should be next to your husband. But if you with your significant other and you don't mind answering to God, that's your business. It's not my business. But you got to know your body. You got to know that you have to drink more water. You got to know that you can't drink coffee. You got to know that alcohol. You got to put the wine down, sis. Because you're going out with your husband to dinner. And then you can't come home because your menopause is acting up because the wine got you hot flashing. The alcohol got you hot flashing. You can't have alcohol no more. Not if it's keeping you, if it's causing you hormonal problems, you cannot have it. You have to change your diet, ladies. And I'm saying this. And the men, we'll get to y'all with the erectile dysfunction at another time. Because y'all have to figure it out too. But tonight we're talking about you got to please your man whether you have menopause or not. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. Or either he's going to cheat on you. A man just sent me a message. Where's my other phone so I can look at the... Hold on. Let me do it on my computer real quick. Let me read this to y'all. Because I want y'all to understand that these messages are... These men are going through it and it's relevant, okay? Let me go to my YouTube channel. Hold on for 1 second. Let me find this message real quick. Oh, it's right here. It's pulled up. He says, my ex-wife and I didn't have sex for the last 2 years we were together. The years before that, we had sex maybe 4 times a year. She eventually told me she wasn't happy and that the marriage wasn't working for her anymore. When we broke up, I started counseling and I realized she had checked out of the marriage years before it actually ended. I made excuses for her in my head. Menopause, she was having a bad week, etc. But now I know that she was done. We were roommates. I guess I knew the breakup was coming, but I was hoping that things would change. They didn't. This man said, my ex-wife and I didn't have sex for the last 2 years we were together. And this brother was trying to stick through it when she knew she ain't want to have sex no more. If you don't want to sleep with that man, if you don't want to be there no more, set that man free. That's so unfair to read that. Did y'all hear that? That broke my heart when I read that comment today. It's on my YouTube channel. It's fair. You can go and watch the video that he's referencing because I was saying, if the woman doesn't want to have sex anymore, she should be the one to leave the house. And this is what his comment was. And again, I know he said, I made excuses for her in my head, menopause, because she was saying that to him. I know she was saying it. Oh, I'm going through menopause. Brothers, don't fall for the menopause trick. Tell her, okay, you going through menopause? Let's go to the gynecologist. I'm going to take you to a massage therapist. I'm going to take you to acupuncture. I know this woman that does holistic healing and she has oils. And I know we're going to go do something. But what I'm not going to do is be around here with you and not having sex for 2 years. No, I commend this brother for wanting his marriage to work. But no. And then she ended up not saying she didn't want to be in the marriage no more. Brothers. Eyes open. Don't be making excuses. And ladies too, but I'm talking to the brothers right now. I hear these horror stories all the time. I say this disclaimer all the time. If it is not a terminal illness, you know what I'm saying? Like, because some people are sick, like really sick that they can't perform. We're not talking about them. We talking about this lady right here and these other women out here and people that's talking about menopause and all of that. So don't tell me you should find out the reason for no sex before making your statement. I'm making my statement to women who are healthy and who have decided to check out. And then these women be up in arms when their man start cheating. Then these women be up in arms when their man decide to leave. So it's a no-win situation for most men, because you're going to be the villain if you decide to be honest and say, I'm not sticking around with no woman that ain't sleep with me for 2 years. I'm leaving. You're going to be the villain to her family. You're going to be the villain to her. You're going to be villain to the world. You're going to be villain to other women. You're going to be women to her best friend, the villain to her best friends. But then if you decide to cheat because you want to try to stay and help, and you're going to be the villain. You're going to be the villain. My point tonight is that as women, we have to never, ever neglect our spouses if we are not terminally ill, or if we are not in a situation of we just can't, like we are bedridden or something. But if you have a reasonable portion of health and you just turning your rejecting, neglecting, and not giving your man what it is that he needs because you have the power to just say no, don't be surprised when he leave you, or don't be surprised when he cheat on you. Because cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem, and leaving is a symptom of a bigger problem. These are real adult conversations that we have every night at 9 o'clock. Relationship maintenance, how to maintain, sustain, and remain in healthy relationships with your spouse.